Welcome back to the Sales Pulse podcast, where sales is not about scripts, it's about fluent human conversation. I'm Marla Copal, your sales conversation architect. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States, where we share time with families, team members, and we're thankful and grateful. As we share this gratitude, some thoughts came to me about how gratitude works into selling and how people who are uncomfortable being in the sales game have forgotten the value of gratitude. It's not just a holiday idea, it's an underused sales skill. Now, before you roll your eyes and go, yet another be thankful message, stay with me. I'm not talking about the surface level stuff, the pretty quote, the pumpkin latte, the feelings. I'm talking about gratitude as a behavior. It's a choice. It's a presence in each of your sales conversations. That choice of gratitude in your sales conversations changes every one of those conversations. Let's look at what's going on. If you're using gratitude in sales, you're using the adult version of gratitude. You're not sending a Hallmark card and you're not trying to make your sales conversation anything like Hallmark. But real gratitude is the kind that changes how you sell. It's much more mature. It's slowing down enough to actually see and hear the buyer. It's asking instead of assuming you know what the buyer wants. Let them tell you. It's listening to the buyer instead of performing some information that you've practiced and have well rehearsed. It's you staying in neutral when that buyer hesitates and you don't go into any of the thoughts you have in your head about, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? You're staying in neutral, just be in gratitude that you have someone to speak with. And you're respecting their timeline, not yours. You're not trying to force anything. Gratitude in sales is a behavior that says, I'm not entitled to this sale. I'm honored to have this conversation and eventually a sale. That shift from entitlement to curiosity is the difference between a seller who pushes and a seller who's invited in. Gratitude changes the pace of the sales conversation. Let me give you an example. Fast sellers push. Grateful sellers notice. They notice the shifts in the buyer. When someone slows down, pauses, hesitates, or they're feeling clueless, oh no, I'm losing them. Fix it, fix it. The grateful seller thinks something shifted for them. Let me check in. That one question, what just changed for you, is gratitude in action. It honors their internal world. It shows you are paying attention to them and not your script. It pulls them deeper into the buying space instead of pushing them out of it. That's the power of choosing gratitude as a sales behavior. It makes the seller curious, not careful. Thanksgiving always reminds me of how easy it is to fall into carefulness, that tiptoeing around, over explaining, trying not to offend family members and friends with politics and other things that people don't want to discuss. But carefulness in a sales conversation kills curiosity. Gratitude frees you from that because you stop performing and you start discovering more about the buyer. You stop trying to get it right, whatever it is, and instead you try to get the buyer right. What is it that you want to learn about them? Curiosity-driven selling is grateful selling. It says, I don't need to be impressive. I just need to understand you. Buyers will lean into you when you do that. They trust it. They relax into it, which means they reveal the real story, the real need, their real timeline. And that's where decisions happen. Lastly, gratitude puts you back in your power. Here's the part that sellers don't see. Gratitude is very grounding. It keeps your nervous system steady, and steady sellers make better conversational choices and decisions on how they will support that buyer. You might follow the buyer's pace and slow yours down. You're going to listen for the buyer's emotions. You're going to stay aligned with where the buyer is in the conversation instead of chasing for approval all the time. And suddenly, you will realize that you're not powerless at all. You've been in the driver's seat the whole time. You just needed to slow down long enough to notice the road, and the buyer is carving out the road. That's the gift of gratitude. It gives you back your position in the conversation and your power, which may just be more listening than talking. Here's a Thanksgiving truth for every seller, coach, business owner who's listening. Be grateful for the conversation with the buyer, not the outcome. Why? Well, you don't control outcomes. You only control how you show up. And gratitude for having a buyer to have a conversation with is a great opportunity for you to show up and them to be served. Show up with gratitude and look forward to tuning in to each person so that you can serve their choices. Create those buying spaces, build trust with each buyer, invite the clarity from the buyer that they need to make their great buying choices. Letting go of pressure, persuasion, and performance may feel hard for you, but when you allow gratitude into your sales and creating those buying relationships, you'll find that life is much easier and much more lucrative. Selling is simple. It's two humans slowing down long enough to understand one another. That's Thanksgiving in motion, and it's all good. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be sure to subscribe to the Sales Pulse podcast on YouTube